Hi, my name is Elise, and today we're going to go through setting up your EasyBills dashboard with our new UI, which we've just released. So when you set up an EasyBills account, you'll log in and your dashboard will look like this. And in order to start processing bills, we've got to go to the apps page, click on Connect in the Xero box, and again, click on Connect. And EasyBills will put up a prompt to help you connect to Xero in order to allow access to connect the two pieces of software. Now, once that's done, you'll see that it is connected and you'll have the ability to disconnect and also test the connection just to make sure that it's working properly. We're now ready to start uploading documents. So in order to upload documents to EasyBills, we've got a couple of options. You can either send an email to your dedicated email address, which in this case is innovix@easybills1.com because my business name is Innovix. We can also use the mobile app. So if you'd like to do that, you can download the EasyBills app from the App Store or from Google Play. And if you pop into the settings menu, there is a QR code here. Once you've downloaded the app, you can scan the QR code and that will link your EasyBills mobile app to your EasyBills account to make sure the documents get pushed through to the correct account in the correct Xero file. And you can also use drag and drop, which is what I'm going to demonstrate now. So in this case, I'm just going to grab a Bunnings invoice, drag and drop it into this white box at the top of the screen and give it a few seconds to start processing. So in this case, within about 4 seconds, the document had appeared on the screen and we can see in the green status box that it's in progress. So we'll give it a few seconds to process, and then once it goes through to Xero, it'll tell us that it's complete. So while that's doing that, I'll just go through a couple other setup tips and tricks. So if we jump into the settings menu, we've got the location and language. So you just want to double check that those are correct because that's how we know which tax codes to use when we're taking the information off of the documents. And then we've got a section here for ABN, GST, VAT, and company name. And I would recommend you fill those out just so that EasyBills can tell the difference between your name and your business and your supplier's name and their business and make sure that it doesn't confuse the two. So we'll jump back to the dashboard now and we can see that that document is still processing. Like I said, normally it takes about 30 seconds to a minute. It can take slightly less or slightly longer, just depending on the load on the system. So we'll just jump back to the settings and I'll just mention a couple other settings in the settings menu. So we've got this auto separate feature that's ticked by default. And what that does is if you've got multiple documents in one PDF, EasyBills will know when one starts and when one finishes and be able to separate them into multiple documents. The invoice headers only is if you would only like the tax and the total of the document and not all the line items. Check for duplicates, I highly recommend putting on, and that basically looks to see if you've got a document in your accounting software that matches the one that you've uploaded, and we will return a failure if that happens. And the archive document workflow complete is basically a setting that allows the documents to just disappear from the dashboard once they've been pushed through successfully. And that, for a lot of people, makes it easier to identify if there are any errors or any documents that need modifying because the ones that have pushed through successfully have disappeared. We don't actually delete it. They're just archived, so you can always access them from the archived list if you need to in the future. So we'll just go back to our dashboard. And again, we can see this status is complete. And we've got a link to Xero here. So we can just click on that link and that'll take us straight through to the document in Xero. So we can see we've got a copy of the actual source document. We've got all of the line item details that have been extracted. We've got automated GL codes based on our history in Xero, automated tax codes based on the document and the fact that all of these items have GST, supplier date, due date, and invoice number. So there you have it, intro to our Xero integration.